Alright, so in the last video we went ahead and we did quite a bit. We set up Angular using Angular CLI. We installed Firebase in Angular Fire 2, and we connected to Firebase and we were able to create a sample collection here called items and bring it into our application. So now we're going to work on our business contact data as well as categories. Okay, so we're going to have two collections here that we're going to create. So we can click in this bar right here, and let's call this one businesses, and we'll click go. And what we can do is click on import JSON, and you should have a file in your resources called business.json. So we're just going to import that, and basically that just has a couple different fake businesses here. We have category, city, company, description, email, phone, state, address, years in business, and zip code. Okay, now we're also going to have, let's click on this again just to go back to our root here. We're also going to have a categories collection. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and import, and we're going to choose categories.json. Okay, and categories is just a simple ID. It has an item ID here and then a name. Alright, so now that that's done, we can go back to our application, and we're going to create a folder inside of our app folder here called services. And inside there, let's create a file, and we're going to call it business.service. Actually, let's call it Firebase service. I think that kind of explains it, what it is a little better, because we might, in the future, you might have other things in the database besides businesses. So I think firebase.service.ts makes more sense. Okay, and then here we're going to do the same kind of thing that we've been doing. We're going to import injectable, and that's going to be from Angular's core. Okay, now we're also going to want to import Angular Fire and then also that Firebase list observable. So Angular Fire and Firebase list observable. Alright, and that's going to be from Angular Fire 2. Alright, and we want to use the map operator, so we're going to import RxJS reactive extensions /add /operator /map. Alright, then we're going to use our injectable decorator right here, and then our class. So we'll call this, no, it's going to be called Firebase service. Alright. Now this error happens when using Angular CLI. It's something to do with experimental decorators. It's just basically just a warning. It's not going to cause any issues. It's just an annoying red line. I mean, I think we could edit the TS config file, but I'm not going to bother with that. It's not an issue at all. Now we want to add our collections as a property here. So let's say businesses, and then we'll set that to Firebase list observable, and the type is going to be business. Alright, now this has a red line under it because it doesn't know what this means yet. Okay, so we're going to create a special interface that's going to describe what a business is. So let's go down under the class, and we're going to say export interface business. Alright, and then we're going to just put all the different fields that a business is going to include. Alright, so we're going to have a key, which is going to be basically an ID. If we look at the categories here, this is considered the key. It's not an actual field that says ID, but Firebase keeps a unique key. All right, and we're going to set that to string, and let's say company. And if they're going to be optional, then you want to put a question mark there. Okay, so that's going to say that it's not required, it's optional. And let's see, description. Category. Do years in business. You can see most of them are going to be optional. Actually, we're going to make the key optional as well because we might not need it in certain cases. Let's see, street address, which is going to be string, and city. Phone, and email. And let's do created at. All right. Oh, I spelled business wrong. Let's change that there and there. Okay, so now we're going to create a function to get our businesses. All right, so we'll say this dot businesses is going to equal this. Let's see, so we need to use Angular Fire, which we've imported but we haven't injected, so we need to actually have a constructor first, and let's just include it in here. We'll say private AF and then Angular Fire. All right, so now down here we should be able to say this dot AF dot database dot list, and then in here we want to put the collection, which is going to be slash businesses. Okay, and then we're going to say as Firebase list observable, and it's going to have the type business. And then we want to return this dot businesses. All right, and that's it. Now we want to do the same thing for the categories, so I'm going to copy this up here, and we're going to have a categories property. Okay, and then let's go down here and create an interface called category, and it's going to have a key and a name. All right, and then we're going to have a get categories. We're going to change the name of the collection here. Change this to category. And then change this. Alright, so let's go ahead and save that. And then we're going to go to the app component TS file, and we need to import that service. So we're going to import Firebase service from .services/Firebase.service. And then we're going to add that as a provider. Okay, we're not going to need this anymore, the items, and we're not going to need this. Okay, what we do want to do is add businesses, and we're going to set that to Firebase list observable, and that's going to be business. And then we'll do the same thing for categories. And then what I'm going to do is just copy from the service the two interfaces here. And we'll just put that right here. Make sure you put it outside of the class. Okay, and then we shouldn't need this anymore because we're doing this from within the service. Now I do want to use on init instead of doing it in the constructor, so let's go ahead and import that up here. And then we need to go to our class name and say implements on init, and then we need to add our ng on init function. And let's see, in here we're going to say this dot, oh, we didn't inject the service yet, so we got to do that in the constructor. So private, and let's say underscore Firebase service, and then Firebase service. Okay, and then down here we'll say this dot underscore Firebase service dot get businesses, and then we're going to say dot subscribe because that's an observable, and in here we're going to say businesses, and then we'll assign this dot businesses equal to businesses. Oh, you know what? We're getting this error because we don't actually want to assign this to this. This should just be business. Okay, we're doing all this in the service, so we don't need it. Okay, and then I'm just going to copy this right here, and we want to do the same thing for categories. Alright, so we'll save that. Now we should be able to access the businesses and categories from within our template. So I'm going to get rid of the async, and we're going to change item to business and items to businesses, and then let's see, we'll display business dot company. Save that, and there we go, we get all of our companies coming in. Okay, so we're now fetching data from the database using our service. In the next video, we're going to start on the front-end UI with the foundation framework.